Hi, I'm Julia Alexander, and this is Be Informed. We are here today at Seward's Barbershop, right here on McDonough Street in the city of Joliet, Illinois. It's just been some wonderful things going on down here. I happen to be with Miss Louise, that is the longtime proprietor and worker of the Seward's Barbershop. And if many of you know this barbershop, you know what this barbershop has been through in the last decade or so. Am I not correct, Miss Louise?
You're right.
And so we're going to talk about the beautification that has transpired down here on today. But first, let's talk a little bit with Louise, and let's find out how long Louise has been here and how she's held it down for many years. Hi, Louise. How are you?
I'm good today.
Okay. Thank you so much for doing the interview with me on today. And let's talk about Seward's Barbershop. You have been here since
74.
1974. And you came in, and who was the owner at that time?
Mike Seward.
Okay, Mike Seward. And what made you decide? You were really almost one of the first female barbers to be in Joliet, right?
I was the second one.
Okay. All right.
I was the second one.
Okay.
And I started cutting hair simply because I had 5 boys.
Okay.
And nobody would cut my son's hair. They had curly
Right.
hair.
Yes.
So I decided to go to barber college. It was downtown Joliet. And I decided to go down there to learn how to cut hair.
Oh, wow.
And I went down there in 73 and graduated in 74, and I've been with Mike off and on ever since.
Yeah. And I know that we were speaking a while back, and you were telling me, you told Mike, says, well, Mike, I just finished school and I need a place. So let's tell my listening audience about that.
Oh, it was so funny. When I was in school, in barber college you don't make any money. So I was in school, so Mike was cutting my boys' hair. So I told him, I said, Mike, I need some money. He said, what you mean you need some money? I said, well, I'm in school and I don't know how to cut hair really. And, I was explaining to him. So he said, oh, well, I said, well, just teach me how to shave. So he started teaching me how to shave. So on Mondays, the barber college was closed, so I would always come down to the barber shop. And him and a guy named Charles used to cut for Conway. And they're the one that taught me how to cut blacks' hair.
Absolutely.
And look at, I'm still doing it.
And you're still doing it.
I'm still doing it. And he used to dog me out. Oh, you're not doing it right. And why can't you do it like this? So I'm doing it the best way I can. We laugh about it. And as today, I have a lot of guys that I shave.
Yes.
And simply because of Mike.
Absolutely. And at the time, we always thinking that we're being dogged out, but he was making you what you are today.
Him and Charles.
Yes.
He
and Charles.
Yes. I haven't seen Charles in years.
Yes.
But Charles made me so mad one day I didn't know how to cut a collision. So what Charles did, he brought his little boy in. And I just messed up the little boy's hair. Oh, I was nervous.
Yes.
And so Charles told me, he said, now, I said, y'all got to get up and finish the haircut. So he said, oh, no, you're going to finish the haircut. I'm going to show you how to do it. And that's what he did.
Oh, see?
And so that's how I really
That's
learned
awesome. We have some awesome teachers, the pain of learning, I should say.
Right.
But listen, let's talk about the struggles that you've gone through down here that led to this beautiful success that you have now.
Oh, honey. You were talking about the shop.
Yes.
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. It was raining in the shop.
Yes.
And it was leaking outside.
Wow.
And I got in touch with Raph.
Okay.
And I said, I can't take this.
Yes.
But what I love about the shop and I love about my clients, with all of the things that I went through in the last year or two in the shop, my customers never stop coming.
They never stop.
They never stop coming. They have been with me, some of them, since I started cutting hair.
Well, Louise, that's not because of your cutting hair. It's because of your personality. It's because of the conversation and all of those things that goes along with beauty and barber.
Yeah.
It's more than just cutting hair.
This is what I try to tell a lot of the younger people that's coming. It's not about how great you are.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's about your personality.
Yes.
Barbering is personality.
Yes.
Mike taught me that.
Oh, yeah.
It's about your personality.
Oh, you're a psychiatrist. You're a doctor in some cases.
Tell me
Yeah.
about it. I have gone through the kids getting shot outside and we
Yes.
running outside, trying to do what we can do to hold it until the bar,
Yes.
till the ambulance,
Yeah.
would come and get them. And the police would come. I've had a lot of shootings down here.
Yeah.
And everybody would come and they would tell me like, well, this and that, and why don't you leave from down here? I can't. I've been down here with these young men that a lot of people don't like. I've been down here with them since 1967.
Wow.
I've been living in my house
Wow.
for 54 years.
And that's what
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about.
Yes.
You've been down here through the struggles of this area.
Mhm.
And you've seen it all.
I've seen it
You
all.
know, never got hurt. Really, the people loved you.
These
The young men, because you treated them with respect.
I respect
Although they were doing whatever it was they were doing, they always respected Miss Smith.
That's what they did.
Okay.
They have always, and I love these young men down
Yes.
here. I love these kids.
Yes.
These kids is the same age as my kids because my kids grew up down here with these
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
I've had been down here when some of the young men would come in and say, I'm gonna quit school. And I said, no, baby, what you gonna quit school for? Don't quit school. Well, I don't wanna hear it. Please don't quit school. They graduated, a bunch of them graduated, they went to JUCO. Some of them got, Father Ray can tell you that. Some of them
Right.
got scholarships, They used to stand on the corner down over there, and I told Father Ray one day, I said, please, Father Ray, go there and get them boys off the corner.
You mean Father Ray from
Father
Sacred
Ray
Heart over
Lecture.
here, huh?
Oh, my
Okay.
minister.
Yes, okay.
And Father Ray, he got out the chair, he went over and he high-fived, he bumped, whatever. It was about 8 of them. And when I knew anything, Father Ray had them going down to Warren Center down there.
No kidding.
And that's been, 10, 12, 15 years ago. And those kids those young men ain't been on the corner since.
No kidding. Well, Louise, that's love of a community.
I love my community.
And that's
I
what
love
makes
down
a
here.
community. That's what keeps
Yeah.
a community, and that's what keeps us protected, to love them.
right. That's
So let's go back and let's talk about now. I know you've been here through the struggles. Our hat go off to you.
Right.
I am so proud of you. That you hung in there and look at the results that we
Yes.
have.
Yes.
And you are an icon in the city of Joliet, because like I say, I know a lot of people that speaks very highly of Miss Lou down here, and I know what you have given to this community. And so our hat goes off to you on today, and this special show is dedicated to you on today.
Oh, okay.
So thank you so much. But let's go back to talk about, we've gone through all the trials and the tribulations of down here, so now let's get to the success and the beauty of it. And you talked about, you called after the rain was coming,
Yeah.
you called Mr. Ralph Byers.
Mr. Byers.
And what we're going to do is we're going to have Mr. Byers to step in, and you're going to see some wonderful pictures of the work that Mr. Byers has done down here. It's just beautiful. And then we'll have you talk about the things that you went through, because any contractor, you're going to go back and forth with them, and I want to know, what did you do with this guy? So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to step out. But before we do, we're going to have one of your longtime workers come in that really hung in there with you for I don't know how long, but we're going to find out how long he's been in there.
30 years.
30 years. And his name is Marion Bell.
This is one of my 6 sons. I call him my number 6. I have 5 sons of my own, but Marion grew up with my sons, and he's my number 6. And I love him. And when he graduated from Barber College, Mike went and got him. And he's been here ever since with me, and that was back in 91 or 90 or 91. It's been a long time. So he's been in his shop with me for 30 years or better. And I love him. We get on each other's nerve, but we love each other, you know. And things that he do, things that I do, sometimes I cut his hair, and he got me looking like whatever now, but for Mother's Day, I will be looking good because of Marion. And I love him for that. And so I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself, you know, since he's been down here. And in the years, we have taken care of each other, you know. And he take care of me, I take care of him. And that's the type of relationship that we have had. And in 30 years, I knew Marion before he was a barber because of my children. And he's still one of my sons. And I love him for that. And so we'll let him tell you some of the things about himself and down here in the barbershop.
And before you do that, Miss Louise, I'd like to ask you, is there anything, since Marion is a younger barber that's come in, and you're a seasoned barber, is there anything that you guys learned or picked up from one another that you shared with your clients?
There's a lot of
barber
things.
styles or, cuts or anything like that?
Well, each barber have their own
unique style.
You know. I imagine, I've never paid it attention. You probably haven't either. But if it's something that I can't do, I'll send my customers to him, or I'll have him to come over, because he likes to do the cute little designs, the Nike signs and all of that. I don't get off into that anymore. And if it's anything that I can't do, he's always been there for me in the 30 years that he's been here. He's always been there for me. I've never had to want for nothing, like in the shop. If there's anything going on, I'll tell him, he takes care of it. And that's what I love about it. Yeah, he's been taking care of me all these years. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's hear from you, Marion. Tell me, what do you think about being here for the 30 years? How has that impacted you in your life? You've seen a lot of things going on down here in this neighborhood, in this area yourself, as well as Ms. Lou, you've been in the area. So tell us a little bit about what you've seen and what you've come through.
Well, I've been through and I've seen a lot.
Yes.
And all I really want to say is I'm glad to be back in the area, cutting hair for the people that's walking down the street, that sees our signs and just remodel and come in to see our place. So all I really just want to say is I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, so you've been cutting hair for how long?
Like Louise said, 30 years.
Okay, and so what made you get into it? Why did you start barbering? What brought you?
I wanted to make people look good.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's a good enough reason. You wanted to make people look good. And so tell me about the relationship that you have with your clientele, because I know that when you're a barber or a beauty, you have clientele that just, even after you retire, they still make you work. Do you have people that are that loyal to you or love you that much? Tell me about your clientele and your following. How do you feel about them?
Well, I feel like they're my psychologist and I'm their psychologist.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, and so what do you think about the beautification of the place now? How are you feeling about being back here in this beautiful place?
Well, that's wonderful.
My name is Marion Bell. I'm a barber down at Seward's Barbershop at 62 McDonough Street. My hours are, I go by appointment. You call my phone and make an appointment, and I can get you in. So by that, you will call me at 815-260-6448 for your appointments. I'm flexible, and I will do it almost every day except for Sundays, unless I notify you different. Thank you.
Well, they call me Miss Lou down here, and my hours, Monday and Tuesdays from 8 to 3, and Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, my hours is from 7 to 3. And my phone number is 815-735-4814. I don't take appointments, I take walk-ins.
Okay, let me tell them I'll take walk-ins.
Yeah. Marion and I both do walk-ins, but he do a lot of appointments, but I do all walk-ins, and he will do walk-ins too, you know. But all you have to do is come in, I'll give him a call, and he's prompt. He's right there. He's never too far from me. Yeah. And thank you very much. I hope to see, you all. I would love for you all to come down and see the shop. Yeah, because I love it. And
Okay, so Marion, you spoke of doing walk-ins as well, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I will take walk-ins, and you can call me if I'm not here.
All right, so, and they will be calling, and you guys take walk-ins, and what address are they walking into?
62 McDonough Street,
And what's that phone number?
815-260-6448.
And that's your personal
That's
phone?
the appointment phone number.
Okay, and your number would be?
it's 815-735-4814.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you all very much. Well, Miss Louise, let's talk about, once again, the beautification of this place. I understood that you told me a while back that it was actually raining in here, and so let's talk about the changes that's been made in here. So tell me about that.
Yes, it was leaking on the outside and raining on the inside. And one day, the roof on the far side here just come down, and I'm like, oh my God, I got on the phone, and I called Mr. Bias. I said, Mr. Bias, I said, something ain't right here. The roof is falling. And he came out and he looked. There's one thing I can say about Mr. Bias and a lot of my clients. They was here to mop the water up for me on the floor.
Yeah.
But I hung in here with the shop. After that, we didn't have anything else because he came out and he fixed it. But it was so bad, I was really embarrassed, and nobody felt, they was down, the people that owned it was down in St. Louis. And so they finally came up and they saw how bad it was. And then they, did a little fixing.
And who are the owners?
Carol and Seward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Mike's sister-in-law.
Okay.
His brother was named Jamal
Okay.
Seward, and he passed about 8-9 years ago. But they didn't, I was hoping they would sell it. But the girls didn't want to sell it. Mike's nieces didn't want to sell it. They wanted to fix it. But I was sure hoping they would sell it to Ralph, because I knew Ralph was going to fix it up his way. And he did. He still ended up fixing it up his way. And I admire him for that, and I love him for what he did. And I will never forget him.
So
Yeah.
therefore they saw the need as you
Yes.
communicated with
Yes.
them.
Yes.
And so you were responsible for going out and finding Mr. Ralph Byers
right.
to do
To do.
the beautification work. And
I was I didn't want nobody else.
Nobody else? Well, I can see why you didn't want anybody else. And so afterwards, they came down. After Ralph got finished, Mr. Bias got finished, they came down and they looked. What were their thoughts? What were their impressions?
They loved it. Oh my gosh, they loved it. They was glad that he fixed it. You know, like Ralph come in here one day before, you know, well, what color do you want? And I told him, as long as you don't put no pink or red.
No pink and no red.
I don't want no pink or red. I don't care what you do, just don't put them colors in there.
Absolutely.
He laughed and like he laughing now.
Absolutely.
He laughed and he said, okay. And I left it all up to him.
Well,
I didn't come in and say, I want this, like that. I didn't say nothing to him. Whatever you want to do in here, you do.
Okay, so that brings us to him. Ralph, hi, how are you?
Hello.
All right, thank you for being on Being Informed with Julia. And let's talk about these wonderful colors that you have in here. What made you choose these colors?
Well, I wanted to make certain that it was a man's place, or that the colors be toned down, something that would be relaxing when people walk in the door. I would notice people when they walk in for the first time, they would just stand in the door and just look around, and that was the reaction that I wanted. That was the reaction that I wanted because they knew how it looked before.
Yeah.
But Louise called me before when we'd come down here, we have buckets all over the place. Where she's sitting at now, when the water would be on the floor, she would pond the water would be there up to about ankle deep, so we had there was an awful lot of work that we had to do in the place. You go in the bathroom, you had to stand with your legs wide so you wouldn't step in the hole.
Or hit your head on the furnace, right?
Or hit your head on the furnace. Louise called me one day and the water was coming down behind her, the electrical panel coming down in the kitchen, in the bathroom. So she had talked to the owners and I really wanted to buy it.
Yes.
And we couldn't settle on the price because I did some work before. They didn't want to give me credit for it, but that's another story.
Yes.
But they came up, she called me about 3 or 4 times, then I was a little bit, I said, I don't want to get involved. And so she kept calling me, and so Louise said, fix this place, this is what I want. So I met with the owners, they came up, and we kind of got together, and I told them, I asked them what they wanted. And they said, it might be on the east side of town. She said, but I want it to look as if it's, anywhere in town. I want people to feel comfortable when they come in.
Yes.
I want it to be bright, and I want it to be lovely, and I want it to be roomy.
Yes.
So what we did was expanded the building, expanded the room 4,
Okay.
and we put in 4 chairs. Before it was 3, we put in 4, and improved the lighting, put the floor in, a little break area for Louise, and added central air and central heat, and the bathroom we made it accessible, even though handicap accessible. And Louise has been smiling ever since.
I know she has.
So that was a joy in my heart, knowing that this is a place that she calls home where she works. And anybody that goes to work should enjoy going to a place of work. So that makes me feel real good knowing that when she comes to work every day, that she has a decent, clean place to work.
Well, Ralph, I've had the opportunity to see a few of you own several buildings around here in the city of Joliet, and you've done reconstruction on your buildings and beautification. I had the opportunity to walk through one of your buildings on Eastern where you did that, and it's phenomenal. You do phenomenal work. So tell me, how long did it take you to get this shop done? And Louise, were you like, hurry up, I'm making money, I'm losing money. So tell me, what did you and Lou go through with that?
It was a battle. It took about 6 weeks. I told her, I said, Louise, it's going to take me about 2 to 3 weeks. But the building had been neglected so long until we had an awful lot to do on the floors, on the walls,
Yes.
and the plumbing and everything that was in bad shape.
Yes.
So Louise would come over after the 3rd or 4th week. She said, I don't have any money and I'm not making any money. So I said, Louise, allow me to fix this place so that you. And so one day she went away smiling. And then she came back about 3 or 4 days later. She said, if it ain't no improvement, then I'm going to raise the price. So she came in, and by this time, we had started to get it together and started to put the colors in, the floors was in. So she started to smile, and I said, "Well, just give me a few more days to get it together."
Yeah.
And so she did, and so when I wanted to make certain that when I turned it over to her, that she didn't call me back for anything that was neglected. And I tried to vision that if I was working here to make certain that whatever had to be done, that make sure that had to be, whatever had to be done, that I could, if I was working here, I would know everything that needed to be taken care of. So
Right.
I put myself in her shoes. I put a floor in that would made it easier for her to stand, because before it was a cement floor.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little bit more expensive, maybe like the basketball courts that they put in today. So after she stands all day, it'd be easy on the knees and stuff. And I put in a nice vanity at each station so that they have room to put all of their necessities, and just make it plain and put GFI's outlets around for every so that way if they drop the clippers in the water, they won't electrocute anybody, and just improve the lighting. Everything that I thought that would enhance her workstation,
Yes.
I tried to put it in and make certain that when she comes to work, that she was totally comfortable and everything worked for her.
Okay, and I see, Ralph, in any beauty and barber industry, lighting is such an important thing. And I think you nailed this lighting on the head. So, right, that is very important, Louise, you know, right? So tell me, what, you're not a barber, you're not a beautician. What did you understand about lighting that made you light this place up? It's absolutely perfectly.
Well, I cheated a little bit because I went online and took a look at a half a dozen other barbershops, and working my way through college, I did barber. And then when I went to Vietnam, who was out in the field, I got a chance to cut guys' hair with scissors and some other things. So I did. I had barbered before.
So you do have some experience.
Some experience.
Okay.
But I know, the older you become, you want to make sure that you have enough light, because a lot of guys, when I see barbers cutting people's hair, they get down to when they're doing lines with a razor. When she's shaving people, she wants to make certain that, the skin.
Absolutely.
Want to make certain that she gets all of the hairs out. So that's why I said, make it light, not real LED lights, real soft, so that she can see through it and make it. But get back to it. I just wanted to pick a color and the lighting that complemented a place to come to work, so that she felt comfortable with. That's all.
Well, I think not only she would feel comfortable, but I think that everyone that comes in there feel comfortable. I know I do. It is neutral colors. It is warm, but it is cozy and relaxing and inviting, and it doesn't overwhelm you.
Right.
All the patterns and designs, even from your sink, your countertops to your chairs. The different patterns, they just coincide with one another. And it's just, you've done an awesome job. Now, do you do this for other people? Are you hired out to work to redo someone's house or any, do you do that for other people?
To be honest with you, I prefer not. I really didn't want to do this job. I'm retired. I like to travel. I really like to travel. I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers and a host of nieces and nephews, and I like to travel around with them with my 2 daughters.
Yes.
If it's something, another main reason, it was a selfish reason why I took the job after I took a look at it. This is where I come and get my hair cut. Mike was a gentleman that was here before, and then after he left, I had another lady that was here, and then finally I wound up with Louise, and I'm not going to go and play else. And so, if I come here, like I've seen some judges from downtown who come at break time looking good, all dressed, and I wanted the place to complement people who would come in, well dressed, come to an area where they felt comfortable sitting in. And so, like I say, if I felt I wanted to come, if I was on a Saturday and I left a funeral or a birthday party or whatever it is, I wanted to make certain that I felt comfortable coming in and sitting down before. It did not lend itself for that kind of surrounding.
Okay. All right, and you're absolutely right about that. Mike was here, and that other young lady that she was before you. It was Mary,
Mary.
which was my maid of honor in my wedding. We actually had an apartment together. We lived together. She was my best friend.
Okay.
And so I know, and then Louise came in. I think Mary was the first woman that I know of. Barber, am I not correct? Louise, correct me if I'm mistaken. The
No,
first
it
woman
was-
barber?
No, the first lady barber was in 67 up on Chicago Street.
Okay, do you
She
remember
was,
her
I
name?
can't remember her name, it's been so long. But she was the first,
Okay.
and I was the second down here on the end,
Okay.
and then Mary.
Okay, so you were before Mary.
Yeah.
You got your license before Mary.
Oh yeah, I got my
Okay.
license in 74.
Okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's history that I have to follow up.
Yeah.
But once again, Louise and Ralph, my hat goes off to you guys for what you have done down here, not only just for this barbershop, but for this community.
Good.
Because what you've done also raises the property value down here in this community, and which is much needed, and I think that it will inspire other businesses
Right.
to beautify their pieces of property
Right.
too. And so we're hoping and praying and that happens. So once again, Louise, thank you for being the pillar of the community down here, and thank you, Mr. Byers, for being the pillar of the community down here. So God bless you, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.